Hey everyone, today we're going to be performing a battery change in a G-Shock G-100, and this is the 5158 module. Let's get right into it. To perform this battery change, we're going to need a small Phillips head screwdriver, a spring bar removal tool, ideally metal tweezers, but if you don't have metal tweezers, you can just use a metal paper clip, and our replacement battery, which is a CR2016. First things first, we're going to want to flip our watch over, and we're going to need to remove our straps using our spring bar removal tool. So as we can see, tucked down in there is our spring bars. They have little lips on them. Our spring bar removal tool has a little V-shaped notch. We're going to wrap the bar around those lips, pull down and twist out, and I always try to keep my thumb in place just in case that bar tries to launch out on me. Now we'll do the same on the other side. Next, we're going to want to remove our 4 case back screws and set them aside for later. Now we can go ahead and lift our case back right off. And don't worry, sometimes the rubber gasket will come off stuck to the case back. We'll be able to reinstall that when we're reassembling the watch. Now that we're inside the watch, we're going to want to peel out this rubber bumper layer. And as you'll notice, there's also a metal layer attached to it. Usually they'll be stuck together, but if not, they're simply 2 separate pieces, and we'll put those back in place when we're reassembling the watch. Next, we're going to want to unlatch our battery housing. This is where having those metal tweezers or that paper clip will come in handy. As we can see right here, there's a latch that grabs around this plastic part here. We're simply going to want to poke right in the middle of it and pull out towards us, and that will unlatch the battery housing. This battery goes in negative side up, so it usually won't pop right out, but right here there's a little groove, and usually I will stick something right in there and twist out, and now we can grab that old battery, take it out and get rid of it. Now we can come on in with our new battery, and I always suggest holding it by the sides if you're not wearing gloves or finger covers. And remember, this battery goes in negative side up. That's crucial. So we're simply going to slide it right in place. And once it's in there, we'll simply press the latch down. You'll usually hear and feel it click. And now our new battery is installed. Now we're ready to perform our AC reset. And before performing the AC reset, I would advise, as long as your watch is oriented the same way mine is, press this bottom button. This is the mode button. This is simply going to cycle our setting to the next setting. That way we can ensure that we've performed the reset correctly, which will make sense in just a minute. So this is where having our metal tweezers will come in handy, but if we're using a paper clip, we simply want to bend it into an arch. You just want to have 2 metal points. So we're going to look at our module right here. We can see it says AC, and there's a little gold tab at the bottom of this hole here. What we simply want to do is contact one end of our metal to that gold tab, and the other end to the metal on our module, and hold it for about 2 seconds. Now, to ensure that we've performed the reset correctly, we're simply going to flip our watch over. This module doesn't have any springs or anything that can fall out, so there's no need to worry. I usually just hold a finger there just to be safe, but we should see it on this 1-1 with Friday displayed. And the reason I suggested pressing that mode button to cycle is because the default screen doesn't display the seconds, so when we reset the module, it goes back to this screen, so it's kind of hard to see if you did it correctly unless you cycle it to the next setting and then it automatically went back. So our reset has been performed, so we can go ahead and reassemble the watch. Our first step in reassembly is going to be to put that metal and rubber bumper layer back in place. So what I'd advise doing if yours came apart during disassembly is to simply place these on top of one another. We just have to line up all of the holes. And now we can simply match what needs to stick out to our module. So as we can see, there's a hole here and a hole here, and there's a metal tab sticking up here and here. So we're simply going to line those up and drop that right in place. And next we're going to go ahead and reinstall our case back gasket in case yours came out. It's simply a circle. So we're simply going to drop it right into the groove there. Make any fine adjustments if we need. Just want to make sure that it's perfectly seated in that groove. And now we can go ahead and reinstall our case back. So we want to remember that these metal tabs indicates the lower portion of our watch. So we simply want to make sure that our Casio and G-Shock logos are properly oriented. This watch doesn't have a groove that it falls in, so you kind of just have to drop it in place and look down and make sure that you can see the holes where the case back screws are going to go in. And now we'll simply install our 4 case back screws again. What I typically will do is just hold my finger on the case back so it doesn't move around, drop my 4 screws in, just get them started, and now all we need to do is snug them up. And remember, they don't need to be super tight, just snug. And now the last thing left for us to do is reinstall our straps. So I usually like to take my strap and my spring bar, thread the bar through, leave a little more sticking out on one end, then I'll grab my watch and we can see the hole where the spring bar is going to go in. So I like to tilt it in, get one side seated in its hole, and then hold it in place. Now I'll come in with my spring bar removal tool, pull that bar down, and get it right in place like so. Now we'll do the same for the other side. And now they're nice and secure. And that's all there is to it. As we can see, all of our modes cycle, our beep is audible, and our backlight is working. So our watch is completely ready to wear again. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this battery change tutorial. I really hope that it was clear and helpful. If you have any questions for me, please be sure to leave them down in the comments. And if you're interested in more tutorials and watch-related content, please do consider subscribing. I cover a wide range of G-Shock, BBG, and Casio products, so stay tuned for more. Thanks, everyone.